Hello friends, welcome. Today I'll be making a video on LRIT, Long Range Identification and Tracking. I will try to cover everything that you need to know for the examination purposes. Let's get started. Before we get into the theory of LRIT, let's start with the technical part of it. Where does it apply to? It applies to all the passenger ships, mobile offshore drilling units, and cargo ships of 300 gross tonnage and above. The next question that comes to mind is who sets this requirement? Why do we need LRIT? So, as per SOLAS Chapter 5, Regulation 19.1, it is obligatory for the ships to transmit LRIT data to the contracting governments, flag state, and the search and rescue services. And secondly, MSC Circular 242 Session 83, the use of LRIT for maritime safety and marine environment protection purposes was released. And these numbers are important if you can quote them during the oral examination. Now, talking about LRIT, the main purpose of LRIT is to enable a contracting government to obtain ship's identity and location information in sufficient time to evaluate the security risk posed by a ship off its coast and to respond if necessary to reduce any risk. The United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas allowed the right of innocent passage to the normal ships. Still, it is important for the coastal state to know what all vessels are coming within its coast. Thus, LRIT allows the identity and location information to be transmitted to all such parties who are interested in it, even at a very long range. And if so much of data is available, it would definitely be used by the SAR authorities and services. Thus, the second purpose of LRIT is that it is used for SAR operations and marine environment protection. Then there are three informations only which are transmitted by the LRIT. Number one is identity of the ship, also called ship's LRIT identifier. Then the position, latitude and longitude, and date and time of transmission. And this information is transmitted by the LRIT in a given time of 6 hours, which is the normal default value. Then this update interval can be remotely changed. The minimum interval is 15 minutes, and sometimes, like dry dock condition or something like that, the LRIT information transmission may be switched off by the master. And now the final question is how is it achieved and what are the main components of the LRIT system? The LRIT system consists of a shipborne LRIT information transmitting equipment. So this is the equipment which is fitted on board. There is a communication service provider, application service provider, then there are data centers which are of three kinds: national, regional, and international. Then there are certain vessel monitoring systems. Then there are LRIT data distribution plan and international LRIT data exchange. To understand and remember it simply, here is a simple diagram. There is a vessel on the left, SOLAS vessel. It has LRIT fitted on board. Now it needs to transmit a data. So obviously from the middle of the ocean, it will use a satellite. And that satellite is from the communication service provider. Through that communication service provider, it is transferred to the application service provider. This application service provider processes the data and then transfers it to the data centers. There are three kinds of data centers: national for one particular contracting state, regional, it's a group of contracting states which have an agreement among themselves, and then there is an international data center. The system is designed in a way that ship transmits the LRIT information only to the data centers, which are selected by the administration of the ship. The data centers further give the information to the International Data Exchange, which, based on the data distribution plan, transmits the information to the other interested parties. For the Indian flagged vessels, this is how the routing works: LRIT to the satellite through the communication service provider, which is Tata Communication in India. Then the application service provider is ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. Then from the ISRO, it goes to the National Data Center, which is located on the third floor of the Nav Bhavan in Ballard Estate. From the National Data Center, the data is given to the International Data Exchange, which is located in Lisbon, Portugal. And from the International Data Exchange, it is given to the other data centers like Port State, coastal states, and SAR authorities. The performance standard and functional requirement for the LRIT is MSc Circular 26384, dated 16th May 2008. I will discuss the same in the next video. I hope this was a useful video for you. If you have any feedback, suggestion, or comment, then please do write down below. Thank you for watching.